Welcome to the Indie Author Showcase. I'm Chad Robert Morgan, author of the multi-award-winning book, The Baby Eater. And to my right, my reluctant partner in crime, Alexander.
Yes! Back from yesterday to my wizard TED Talk, and now I'm like this.
Oh, Lord, we're not going to do the Wizard TikTok thing again?
I mean, if you really want to.
Yeah, we're not going to do the Wizarding TikTok again. So, if it looks like I'm having convulsions here,
There's a funny little canine.
we have a German Shepherd puppy that does not know that we are recording a podcast and has picked the very worst time to decide to play.
To put that into wizard terms, we have a hellhound in the house who is currently rather rambunctious.
He has been a bit of a hellhound. It was bad enough when he was digging holes in the backyard, but I really started losing when he started digging holes inside the house.
I don't like it when he tries to dig holes into my flesh.
Your flesh heals. My hardwood floors do not.
Wow.
Anyway.
I don't even know what to say to that. That's just like a...
Well, I'm just saying, flesh grows back. Hardwood floors is like a $10,000 replacement now.
Sick him on you and see how you like it.
Oh, like he's never bit me before.
Yeah, but it doesn't bite you like he bites me.
You're his big brother. He loves you. So, anywho, hence me looking like I'm having a convulsion here on camera. So,
I don't know, you give him to me.
that's fine. I got him. Then you look like you're having a convulsion on camera. Isn't any better?
Yeah, but I'm funny.
Anyhow. So, this week,
Let me just take this.
I wanted to talk a little bit about awards.
Awards?
Awards.
Wow. See, notice how I'm not convulsing.
So, we have mentioned this before that, I have one of you.
A couple.
Two. Four.
Two.
Four.
Two.
I have won 4.
7.
I wish I won 7. I'd be very happy I won 7. No, just 4. So one of my books. One of my books has won 4 awards so far.
One of 17.
No, since I've been doing it seriously, and actually publishing and doing the whole audiobook thing, I've done 4 full novels and 1 collection of short stories. And I'm working on my 5th full novel right now. So, and The Baby Eater was the first novel I submitted for awards, and it won 4. The second book I submitted for awards was Intergalactic Space Force, The Cherub Threat, and so far I didn't win any. So, the first 2 I didn't even know about awards and festivals and that kind of thing, so I didn't even try. So I didn't know anything about it. So I wanted to talk a little bit about it. So, what's the point of doing awards? Well, obviously...
Recognition.
Well, yeah, it's recognition. But it's a little bit more than just getting a pat on the back. It's a little bit...
Validation.
Well, it's a little bit more than that. It's a marketing thing.
Yeah, that's what I said, publication.
Well, you said validation.
I said something before that, too. Which was about the same as just marketing. Look at me, I'm so smart.
Well, you're smart when you play yourself.
Thank you. I'm like this little fella down here.
Is he starting to settle down? Is our hellhound settling
Yeah,
down?
look at what I do. When I cast befriend animals.
Oh, good Lord.
Maybe if you leveled it to wizarding of the druid variety.
Yeah.
I only cross-paths in the druidry because druidry kind of mid.
So, The problem with awards is that there's a lot of scam awards out there. There's a lot of awards that don't mean anything, that they hand them out like candy. They take their money and they hand you a award and it doesn't mean anything. One of the biggest warning signs about a junk award is they ask you to apply. If you start getting a lot of emails, especially a lot of spam emails over and over again, hey, time is limited. We'll give you a discount if you apply for our award, right? That's a warning sign right there. Okay? It's probably bullshit. Okay? So not all awards are created equal. I'm fairly confident the awards I have gotten are all legit, not necessarily big awards, but they're legit awards. So the first award I got was the Audiobook Reviewer's Choice Award. And then they later gave me their audiobook book of the year for the horror / occult genre. Again, not necessarily a large award, but a legit one nonetheless, right? I also got the Indie Brag medallion, which we actually reviewed a fellow Indie Brag winner, which was Megan Haskell. And we had mixed reviews on that book. I liked it. You kind of lost interest in that book when it shifted from the urban setting to the fantasy setting.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So, but I think you would agree that was a story decision, that it wasn't because the book wasn't well written or because the characters were not well developed. That was, the story took a turn you didn't like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that had more to do with personal taste than anything bad about the book itself, right?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. So again, I've done some research. I've not seen anybody say anything bad about Indie Brag. Nobody's been saying that it's a scam or anything. I've seen nothing negative about Indie Brag. So to the best of my knowledge, Indie Brag is very legit. Again, if anybody says anything differently, please let me know. But to the best of my knowledge, all legit. And then the fourth award was runner-up for the LA Festival of Books, or LA Book Festival, which, again, as far as I know, totally legit award. Okay? Mm-hmm. So, not the biggest awards in the world, but...
Except for maybe the LA Festival of Books.
Well, not the LA Festival of Books, but the LA Book Festival. LA Festival of Books is sponsored by the LA Times, and that was at USC. And I don't think there's any awards actually part of that. So this was the LA Book Festival, which is a different thing. So I bring this up because lately I've been getting a lot of spam emails saying, hey, apply for our award. We'll even give you a free category. The fact that they're emailing me over and over and over again suggests that this is not a legit award. So it makes me suspicious. Let's put it that way. So what are some legit awards? Now, some people say that if you have to pay an entry fee, that's a warning sign. But the truth is, a lot of these places run off of the entry fees. So paying an entry fee is actually kind of the norm. So that in itself is not a warning sign. So right now, I wanted to go through a list of what is considered honorable, above board, legit awards that you can apply. Now, these are very big awards. These are very well-known awards. So the competition for these things are going to be a lot stiffer. The good news, though, is not only will this get you a lot of recognition if you win these awards, but some of these also have cash prizes.
Have you won any of these awards?
Hell no.
Have you applied for any of these awards?
A couple of them. Now, I haven't gone and applied for a lot of them because, again, they have an entry fee, and I don't have a lot of disposable income, so I have to kind of pick and choose my battles. Also, they're not always open at the same time, so it's like I kind of got to remember to check when they're open, and I don't always catch them when they're open, and then when I do have money, they're not open and that kind of thing. So it's part timing, part economics. So right now, let's go ahead and go through just a few of these awards contests that are considered very above board and legitimate. So the first one on our list is the Indie Reader Discovery Award. Now, the Indie Reader Discovery Award features distinctions such as Best First Book and Best Cover Design and Best Overall Fiction and Nonfiction. The winners of these can receive cash prizes and other prizes based on which categories they win. And I believe the winners of these can actually get representation from real agents. Then we have the Independent Publisher Book Awards, or the IPPY. This one was started in 1996, and they have gold, silver, and bronze medals to winners in up to 90 categories. After that, we have the Forward Indies Book of the Year Award. The top two winners of each category can receive cash prizes of up to $1,500. After that, we have the Next Generation Indie Book Awards. Drawing from more than 80 categories, the Next Generation Indie Book Awards is the largest international awards program for indies. They too offer awards of $1,500 to the first prize winners and smaller cash prizes for runners-up and finalists in each category. Also, there is an opportunity to wind up being represented by agents from New York. Woo! Now, this one, I think I have applied to this one. This one is the Best Indie Book Award, or BIBA. B-I-B-A. This is a self-sponsored award and has contests of best books in 35 categories, as well as best illustration and best design cover. Now, this one has a much smaller cash prize of $500, but hey, money's money. I'll take it. But it is considered to be one of the more higher prestige awards. We have the National Indie Excellence Awards. That too has a cash prize of $500. The Eric Hoffer Book Award. That's been going on for more than 2 decades. It offers a grand prize of $5,000 to one recipient each year, as well as worldwide media exposure and coverage in the U.S. Review of Books. Writer's Digest Self-Published Book Awards. The Self-Published eBook Award honors one grand prize across genres with $5,000 in cash. And the 32nd Annual Self-Published Print Book Award offers a grand prize of $10,000. Winning first prize in each category isn't shabby either, with an award of $1,000 in cash and a press announcement. Woohoo! We have the Self-Published eBook Awards. Self-published authors of ebooks published in the past 5 years are eligible. Authors who publish with a small press, that's publishers that publishes fewer than 12 ebooks a year, or authors who have traditionally published in print but retain their ebook rights are eligible to qualify. We have the Rubery Book Awards. This is a UK-based international book award offering one grand prize for a Book of the Year that offers a £2,000 cash prize. I don't know what that is in American dollars. No idea.
No idea.
No idea. There's some smaller cash prizes for awarded to other category winners. We have the Autumn House Fiction Prize. If you are sitting on a manuscript between 150 and 300 pages, you might consider submitting it to this annual prize. Autumn House offers one winner a book contract for publication and $2,500 in cash. We have the IBPA Benjamin Franklin Award, considered one of the highest national honors for independent publishers with 56 categories. We have the Lambda Literary Awards, also known as the Lammies. This one is specifically for those books that have relevance to the LGBTQ community. And last on our list is the Mom's Choice Award, because who doesn't love Mom?
I just didn't think that'd be like a thing. Okay, I'm okay.
A philanthropic award that's good for self-published children's books authors. So if you got kids' books, you might want to try the Mom's Choice Award.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
So that's a good list of legitimate contests. Now, again, these contests will have an entry fee. General rule entry fee is usually around $75 to $100. Give or take. Smaller ones might be a little cheaper. Bigger ones might be a little more expensive. I think like Bibba was, I think that one was about 100 or 125 maybe, I think. So again, you're asking how many did I apply for? I don't have the cash to just blanket throw my book at all of these. It gets expensive after a while. So you have to pick and choose your battles. But it's also why you kind of want to know which ones are legit, because you don't want to throw your money away, right? So these are considered very legit contests. So if you are looking at applying these, and again, I've done Audiobook Reviewer, I've done Indie Brag, and I've done LA Book Festival. My opinion is that those are above board. I can be proven wrong, but I feel they are.
And shall we get on to the book review?
I think now is a good time for the good book review. Yeah.
I slam on the table dramatically. Hand it over, bub.
So our book this week is actually a graphic novel, and it is. You want to tell us who it was written by and everything?
You can go crazy on that one.
Well, you did. You already went through it.
Well, it is written by Stephen Prince. It is drawn by Pablo Alves. It is, was it? Alex Zeif is the colorist. Dr. I'm gonna butcher all these names. Dr. Teresa Rosas is a professor of English and a professor of ethnic studies. So I'm guessing that they translated this. Katharina Roetz, I hope I say that correctly, is a proofreader. And Albini, I hope I say that correct, is a literal and graphic designer. Okay. I really hope I got all that correct. It'd be a shame if I hope that, if I said, this person's a great colorist, they turned out to be like the writer, but I think I got that correct. Anyways, would you like me to read the back?
Go ahead and read the back.
Oh, I'm gonna butcher so many names. The near future. Kaiju have risen and brought death and destruction to our world. Now, Ramon Alejandro Estevez Guerrero, I did not get that last part correct, roams the earth fighting these monsters in the memory of his late wife, and to make a better future for his daughter. He is the monster Matador. There you go. There's the back.
Short but sweet.
Yeah.
All right. So the basic plot of the book here is, like you were saying, it's in the near future. Monsters have broken out in the world, and this Matador has taken his bullfighting talents and adapted them to fighting the monsters. So instead of fighting bulls, he's fighting all these hellspawn that have broken out into the world, which is not a bad concept. I kind of dug it.
I dug it. It's a good comic. The art's well drawn, the paneling's good. It's good. It's a really good one. I recommend it.
So, as usual with comics, it's a little hard to review it and critique it because the nature of comics is it's always going. It's like a soap opera, right? What we're getting is basically a snapshot. So it's a little hard to figure out how much of this is done. You know, where is the story going from this? In this book, we actually have basically two different story arcs that are completed, right? The first story arc, we meet our main character in a town in Guatemala, where this town is being ravaged by monsters. And he teams up with another monster matador to go face the monster. And there's that story. Then the second story is sort of hinted at throughout the first story. Then the second story, this team in Africa has come to find our hero to go help him deal with a problem in Africa. And that was when I thought he looked a little out of place, right? Because he had all these big tough guys and they got the big guns and everything like that. And he's like sitting there like this with his Matador outfit. And, you know, like in the Guatemala setting, he looked appropriate, right? Because he was dressed culturally appropriate and everything like that. You threw him in Africa, he looked a little weird, you know. But I'm like, okay, I'm going to roll with it, you know. And the story went on, and I'm like, okay, it worked. I went with it, costume aside. And I liked both stories. The one critique I had was in the first story, we spent a lot of time dealing with these villagers and getting to know the villagers, and then we leave the village. I would have rather. Now, again, it's hard to judge because we don't know what the comic's going to do next, right? Because again, that's the nature of comic books. They're always never ending, right? So if the story circles back to the village in Guatemala, then it makes sense that we spend more time with these villagers and build them up as characters. Then it makes sense. But from the small snippet of the story that I got, I would have rather have developed the main character more and gotten to know him better rather than these villagers. That would have been my one critique of the story. But again, maybe there's a reason for it. Maybe in the next chapter we go back to the village. You know, maybe that's his home base or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's a little hard to tell if that was intentional or not, or if that's going to pay off later or not. So I don't know. Like in the second story arc, we don't really develop the other characters as much because we're not going to return to Africa, right? This is sort of like a one-off story. We kind of get that vibe, you know. It's like this is like a side quest, right? And then he's going to go back home. We get that vibe, right? So they're fleshed out. They're full characters, but they're not important enough for us to. It's not like Walking Dead where we're going to carry these characters on for 15 volumes, right?
Yeah.
So the guys in the village, I don't know if we're going to see these characters for 15 volumes or not, but they seem to have gotten that kind of detail put into them. So I don't know if that was really worth the time or not because I don't know what the next volume is. And like I said, with comic books, it's hard to tell if that was worth it or not. So I don't know. That would have been my only kind of head scratcher. The first story was really, actually, I think the better of the two because it had I don't want to get into spoiler territory, but it had a really kind of a surprise antagonist to it, and I thought that one had a villain that had some depth to him. I just felt like that the villain actually had more depth than our main character did, and I want to see more of our main character um, than I am seeing of all the side characters. Like the side characters are getting a lot more depth to them than our main character is at this point. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the main character is pretty interesting. I think there's more they could take with him. Um, I don't know. I didn't think the villain was that interesting. I don't know. I thought it was interesting, but not like that interesting. Yeah, I think the full story is better than the second story in the Amazon too. I also think that. Um,
I mean, I think the hero's a cool character, but I mean, I wasn't getting too. I just wasn't getting a lot of detail out of him. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, he's a badass, you know, but I mean, I was getting more stuff out of the villain from the first one, you know, because I was seeing his flaws as a villain, and I was seeing his, what turned him from a good guy to a bad guy kind of thing, and I was seeing all that kind of detail in the villain. I was seeing the motivation of Ramon's sidekick. Um, I wasn't seeing a lot of that in the main character in the first couple episodes. Um, I mean, he's an honorable man. I mean, he's a badass and everything like that. And I was like, that's great, but um, I wasn't seeing. I don't think we see much of him as a person until the end of the second one when he gets home and he's dealing with his daughter and his brother-in-law, and he's dealing with his family issues. Then we start seeing him as a person, as opposed to this, you know, uh, badass superhero dude the entire time. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
And that's what I mean. It's like I would have liked to I would have liked to seen more him more humanized, I guess is what I'm trying to get at, because it was just him being super kick-ass dude until like towards the end of the book. And towards the end of the book, then he started becoming a human. And that would have been my only critique.
Yeah, I feel that. So all in all, two thumbs up from us.
Oh yeah, no, I totally dug it. And like you said, the art is good, the story is good, the paneling is good. Um, I mean, like I said, it's my only gripe, my only nitpick. But I mean, really, I'm picking at the edges on this one. Um, I mean, this is like what, like 8 out of 10 kind of thing. I mean, it's still really good.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'd be interested to see what happens further on because, like I said, um, some of these issues I have might be resolved in the next issue. That's the nature of comic books. That's the nature of these kind of storytelling. So my issues might not be issues by the next volume. So I don't know. So I'd be interested to see if I'm right, if these things are just going to kind of be nothing burgers by the next volume.
And with that, I think it is time we end this episode. Am I correct? Am I correct?
Well, let's wrap it up. Before we wrap it up, where can they find us?
ShopSpectralInc.com.
All right. So, where can they find us?
They can find us at HorrorCon on the 14th, 15th of September, Creep IE on the 21st and 22nd of September, and to the Monsterpalooza on the 12th and 13th of October. Should I just pull up the image?
Nope, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, and then if they want to support us, like right now, like right away, what can they do?
The Patreon.
We do have a Patreon. So that is patreon.podbeam.com/indie author showcase. $1 a month, and we list you as a supporter to the podcast. We give you a shout out. $5 a month, we do that, and you get an official Indie Author Showcase t-shirt. And if you donate to the podcast, we might actually get a professional studio so we're not interrupted by a hell beast.
Yeah.
Which would be nice.
Yeah.
And then I might be able to afford the lithium for my partner so he'll smile.
I was the smiler beforehand. And with this, we must do
one more place where they can help us out, where they can order any of my books, including the multi-award-winning horror novel, The Baby Eater. If horror is not their thing, we also have our raunchy sci-fi comedy series, Intergalactic Space Force, and the sequel, Intergalactic Space Force, The Cherub Threat. That could be found on Amazon, at Barnes & Noble, on Audible, iTunes, or directly from our own website, shopspectralink.com. And if they go to shopspectralink.com, they can also order t-shirts, blankets, beach towels, t-shirts, swim trunks. Why are you crying?
I love swim trunks.
How did you cry on demand like that? That is impressive. I am impressed. That's real acting right there.
Yeah, I know. I'm really good at that. It's a really ugly process getting it to happen, though. Yeah.
Bravo. I am legitimately impressed.
Thank you.
You can do that.
Thank you.
That's talent right there, my friend.
It is. No, it's difficult, dude.
I am legitimately impressed.
It takes me a minute.
I am not even kidding. I am legitimately impressed that you can cry on demand like that.
Thank you. I'm so touched.
And with that, we'll see you next week.
Toodaloo.
We gotta find a better sign off.
Toodaloo.